Hi, I'm Carl Za, the host of Silk and Steel podcast, where we cover everything China, history, culture, and politics. Today, I'm doing a special show from my hometown of Chongqing, which you can see behind me. It serves as a beautiful backdrop, and I'm joined by my co-host Alex.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm here with Carl Zaw. Wow, Carl, in your hometown.
Yes, in the house.
Well, I feel like a stranger. Should I be here? Am I allowed in?
Let me show you my town.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, so Alex is actually the local here. He's been living here and bringing Chongqing to the world through his work with iChongqing. And I am actually a guest. I'm visiting with my family. I want to show my wife and kids where I grew up. And let me tell you, it's very different from the time I actually grew up here because everything you see behind me, all these building and lights, that didn't exist in 1980s. So everything was built in the last 35 years.
Okay, last time you were here.
Yeah.
When was it?
2019, before pandemic.
Okay, 2019. So have you even seen changes since then?
I think I seen a lot of changes. And I also asked my impression is I feel the city has changed a lot. But you can tell me more because you actually moved here during the pandemic. Wow, what was that like?
It's like you passed the baton on to me and I've taken over for you until you got back. So can I go now and you're gonna take over?
Go. No. Go ahead.
No, I mean, are you gonna take over the city now?
Oh, this has always been my city. I'm sorry.
There it is. There it is. I love it.
This is always my city.
I love it. No, very good. I mean, there, even in my stay here of a little over 5 years, there has been a lot of changes, and I think a lot of them have to do with the decisions of the government. The support in the new energy vehicle market.
Sure.
I mean, we all see these spectacular cities. Doesn't matter if it's Paris or San Francisco or Chongqing. Vehicles do cause impacts on cities, and this is a mega city. And well, I think it's helped the city.
I will tell you a story about the vehicle because one of the most famous brand in the city is or Chang'an Automobile.
Chang'an, yeah,
Chang'an
factory.
Now Chang'an Automobile actually started, you wouldn't believe it, as a munition factory.
Yes.
It was originally started in the late 19th century. Because as a result of the two opium wars and Taiping Rebellion, the Chinese ruling Mandarin class realized, okay, we have to do something to modernize the country. And they brought American engineers to build the Jiangnan Arsenal near Shanghai. But during World War II, that much of the eastern seaboard of China fell into the Japanese hand. So a lot of the factories were moved piece by piece on donkeys, mules, and loaded on ships, sailed up the Yangtze River and landed here in Chongqing. And that's how Chang'an got started. It started as a munition factory, and it continued to produce artilleries and tanks even after the founding of the People's Republic of China. Because during the Cold War, Mao thought the World War III could happen anytime, and China might have to fight Soviet Union and United States at the same time. So Chongqing was built up as like the arsenal of China, and Chang'an was one of the major arms manufacturers. And then came 1980s when I grew up in the city. Deng Xiaoping was in power, and Deng Xiaoping said, you know what? We don't need to spend all this money building weapons. We need to develop our economy. So he told all these former state-owned munition factories, you know what? Sink or swim. And a lot of them had to literally turn swords into plowshare by going into civilian production. And Chang'an was one of them. They first produced motorcycles, and then later they moved into car production. And now they're in the new energy vehicle industry. And when I was in Thailand, Bangkok, in your neck of woods, I saw huge billboard out of the Bangkok airport for Chang'an car, which their brand, I don't understand their branding. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't understand their branding.
I get it.
Because they call it Deepal. I mean, my initial reaction is like, that's an Indian car, right? Then I realized I did some research. No, that's from my hometown, Chongqing. It's my hometown pride. But that aside, marketing branding aside, I'm very proud now. Chongqing is now marching all over the world.
Isn't Deepal like blue something? Blue rising or
Yeah, I think in Chinese it's like Weilan or so it's supposed to be deep blue, but why couldn't they just call it deep blue? I mean, that's better than Deepal, but whatever.
You know, it's interesting that you bring up Chongqing's history. You know, the city itself here, the cultural and arts are starting to tell the story. I saw a fantastic show in the city called 1949. Uh, Beautiful. If you haven't seen it, you come to the city, you need to see that. That's got to be on your list. And then also, you know, in a lot of the other art museums in town here, a lot more museums opening up, really telling the history of what happened here. We have the 80th anniversary of the Japanese aggression. And I mean, that was just
80th
horrifying.
anniversary of victory.
Yes, it's of course,
right?
victory.
In fact, the landmark building in Chongqing before I left China in 1990 was a 3-story tall liberation monument that was initially built in 1945 to celebrate that victory. And that was the tallest building of all of Chongqing back in 1990. And now it's wholly dwarfed by all these like skyscrapers.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned that building. Daniel Dunbro had me on the phone today and he says, this building, it's important. We got to have footage. I talked to Carl Zock. It's important. Do we have the footage? We got the footage, Daniel. No worries about it. So absolutely fantastic. But let's kind of shift gears here a little bit. You know, of course, we've seen the history of this city. It's in the people here. It's in their character. You know, they're a city of people that just keep moving forward.
Well, Chongqing is a port city. I mean, there's a reason Chongqing is important is because traditionally, before all the high-speed rail were built, traditionally the major way to for Sichuan Basin to communicate with the outside world is through the Yangtze River, and Chongqing sits at the junction of the Jialing River and Yangtze River, which is actually behind us, and so this was a major port that connects this part of China, southwestern China, with the rest of China. And all the goods come through here. So the people here are growing up with the hustle and bustle. They're all hustlers. You know, they want to get things done very quick.
Yeah, and you see that. What's interesting is you also see how fast the city is growing, where you could go down to a special part of the town I like is Chaotianmen Market, where this has lived through Taobao. It's still alive and doing well.
Wow.
People still go there, and there's a reason for it. They go there for trust. They go there because they were there as children. It brings back memories. And it's not just there for memories, but it's also there because it's been in generations.
Yeah.
And when you go down in that area, you'll see super tall, beautiful skyscrapers, of course. And then you'll see maybe an old worker pushing a cart up the street. You're thinking, wait a minute, am I in Chongqing or am I in, you know, another small village?
Probably lived through the whole transformation.
And I don't think a lot of the older locals realize how big this city has gotten.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a city of fantastic bridges and beautiful bridges, but I want to ask you, you know, after being away for so many years, when you came back, how did it feel? Come back to your city?
It feels great. I mean, like every time I come back, it feels like I'm coming back to a new city. Like a new infrastructure, everything got to upgrade, and everything become a lot more convenient. That's okay. Okay, everything become a lot more convenient if you're long-term residents of China, like Alex, or if you are Chinese who live here. But for foreigners, first time, it still needs a little bit onboarding. But that's not just Chongqing. That's all of China. You know, for example, Alipay. You know.
Yeah, I was about you say that. You know, tell us to the viewers, and I agree with you. Once you're in the city and you feel you're connected, everything is comfortable, but it's that initial arriving. Imagine being a foreigner arriving here, not being able to have access to certain payment options that you need. ATM may work, may not work, but then it's cash. By then, you got some translation things. Now, one thing that I just noticed at the border, I came through the border, or was leaving China here, and noticed that they have an immigration number called, I think it's 123. Well, anyway, it's on one of my mini apps here, but it's basically like the immigration is like, dial this number, add it to WeChat, with those mini apps. I'm not sure what they're called, micro apps or
Mini app.
mini apps, something like that. And immediately it's like, do you need help? I was like, there's somebody actually there, and yeah, we're here to assist you.
Yeah.
So it looks like they've rolled out that, which is smart. I've also seen now at the immigration, when you go, the glass windows are multi-language translation. So whoever's talking to you will translate vice versa. So that's there.
That it definitely make everything a lot easier nowadays.
Right.
And the police is actually helpful.
Yes.
And because I know this because my dad just contacted me a couple of days ago. He needed to get a proof of the cancellation of his old residence permit in China. He asked me to go to the police department, but apparently my mom already called my auntie the night before. I didn't know, so I called the police department this morning, to ask what kind of documentation I need, and they say, "Oh, what's his name?" And I provide my dad's name. They're like, "Oh, one of your relatives already came this morning." And
They're all nice down there. Right?
yeah.
Oh, let's just check your mic. Your mic on
Okay.
there? Yeah, your mic's on. Okay,
Okay.
good. So it's funny you say that because we've also encountered, like, once you're in the city of Chongqing, now it's like, I think, and this is not trying to sound negative, but I think China can do a more, let's say, deeper,
Better onboarding.
better onboarding, because let's say I send a member of my family to this country for the first time.
Yeah.
If I didn't tell them before, okay, download Alipay, download WeChat, everything's good, connect your banking cards, all good. And still, there is an issue with banking cards connected to Alipay because sometimes they fail for security reasons.
Yes.
So I think right out the gates, and we should take something out of Thailand's books here, and maybe about Bali's books.
Okay.
But as soon as you come out of the immigration in Thailand, it's SIM card, taxi, multi-language, hotel support, cash machines, top-up cards, okay? So I think maybe if it's possible, because I think cash is the number one issue here, that would it be so hard to open up a booth, not just an information booth, but a booth that says, okay, we're going to help you upload these apps, and you're going to buy some top-up cards. Put them in your cards and go spend money in the.
Yes.
And this is what we need.
Totally agree. Because you and me, I mean, I'm fluent in Chinese and read and write. And I thought, okay, by the way, having said all that, first of all, it's already a major improvement because back in 2019, you cannot use Alipay as a foreigner. You cannot use WeChat payment as a foreigner.
I know. I remember.
Yeah, and so this was updated a couple years ago. So it was good. So when I came to China, I thought, okay, I got this. I downloaded Alipay. I associated my bank account with it. I thought I'm done. But when I landed, when I was trying to pay for a SIM card, my Alipay doesn't work. And then it tells me, oh, you need to verify your identification. And then I turn on my VPN, find a YouTube video, tutorial, and then realize, okay, it's actually very simple. I just need to upload my passport information.
But even that, some people feel a bit nervous.
Yes, of course.
So I think maybe the top-up system might be good. If you're arriving with money, hey, nothing bad with taking currency from tourists that want to spend money in your country.
Yeah.
And giving that assurance that they see a balance on those wallets, because you've got to remember that China is ahead in certain sectors. That stereotype, people think, oh, what, they want my documents up. What does that mean? Am I in the system?
I mean, fine, because they have to check my passport when I come into the country. I wouldn't mind putting my passport information in the Alipay app so they can verify who I am before I can use my bank account. I'm okay with that. But there's still other things I'm learning. So for example, when I try to use a metro system in Shanghai, so I was still doing the same way I did like 10 years ago, like back in 2010. So I go to the ticketing booth, ticketing machine, I choose my destination, and it tells me how much money is for the whole trip, and then I take out my phone, use my Alipay to pay that exact amount, and spit out a plastic card, and then use that to wipe which works, which is fine. But I thought it was a little bit complicated. Daniel Dumbrill, our friend, just showed me such a great way to actually use Alipay for Metro. I apparently inside Alipay
Yeah.
there's an option for Metro and buses. You just click it, choose the city, which is Chongqing, and you will generate a QR code, and then you can just code that QR code and scan at the Metro entrance, and bam, you're through.
Just like that.
Just like that. But I needed Daniel to tell me that. I wish that, like you said, if they just have an onboarding booth at the airport, just show people, hey, this is what you can do. These are the capabilities. You don't have to use it, but this is our options. So I think that would be super helpful.
Truly amazing. Like, Carl, I've known you for, I don't know how many years now. It's been quite a few years now, right? Maybe 4 years. Probably knowing you a little bit more than that, seeing you on the other side of YouTube, I'm on the other side.
Yeah.
I think for the first time we met was on the Great Wall of China, right?
Yes.
And then it's like, hey, Carl, how are you? Oh, yeah, coming to China. I said, yeah, I'm in China. Where are you? I'm in Beijing. Beijing where? Great Wall. Wow, there we go. And I mean, that's the thing about, as content creators, YouTubers, whatever you want to call us, I think, there's something that has to be said, that there's a lot of friendships made through this. Like, we have a mutual friend, Daniel Dumbrill. We have a mutual friend, Brian Berlede.
Yes.
You've met Brian. We've talked about you meeting Brian. I haven't met Brian, but want to introduce and meet myself, even though we've shared the screen. It's a community that really helps people, and we get the message out about cities like this here. When I came here in 2019, I vlogged it, went back. My channel blew up.
That's how I find out about you, by the way. I saw your 2019 YouTube video. I was like, damn, that guy is putting my city on the map. Map props. So I still map props.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I think, a lot of this content, like, we do see sometimes these snippets, the real short content where it comes out, you see something amazing, and then the video is over, right? And that is important content. But then there's other very, very delicate stories to tell about this city. We recently did a documentary called Democracy in China. We visited a school in the Bishan district, talking to students, finding out what they want changed, using the local community.
Yeah.
I'm a contact person for Shapingba. It's, the NPC. And I mean, it's really important to understand a community city like this, and also understand how fast China is moving forward. But where does that leave a guy like you now? So you're Chinese, you're seeing your country massively expand. You have children. I mean, where's Carl's eye fit in this world right now?
Well, one of the reasons I brought my family to visit Chongqing, my wife and my kids, for the first time, is I want my children to develop an appreciation for China, for the place where I come from, their father's hometown. And I hope that will spark an interest. So maybe will motivate him maybe to learn more about China and to learn about Chinese and Chinese culture. And so far it's great success. My 4-year-old says, I love China. Why this place has so much yummy food? And this morning I took him to the grocery store because I want to give my wife a little more time to rest. So I took him to the grocery store downstairs and let him go shop. And he went wild picking all kind of snacks. And at the end of the day, his entire haul was only 17.5 RMB, which is like nothing, which is like a couple dollars, US dollars. Yeah, and he was very happy with it.
Do you find the cost in traveling in China expensive, or?
So China is very developed right now with world-class infrastructure, but at the same time, very affordable. Very few people know about this, I feel, because they have seen, maybe they have seen viral video of Chongqing and they say, oh, I want to go there. But what they don't realize is the hotels here are very good and at a very affordable price. I have traveled through, I came just on this trip. I've been to Shanghai. I've been to all the cities in southern Xinjiang. And everywhere I went, the tourism infrastructure is great. The hotels are great and affordable. So, please, if you think about checking out China, you know, do a little bit of research. I highly recommend it.
What's one thing about your childhood in the city of Chongqing that you remember the most?
Well, I mean, I have a happy childhood here. A lot of stairs, a lot of stairs, but that's just Chongqing because it's built on a city. It's built on it's built on mountains. And because I grew up in an extended family. My grandparents raised me, and my grandparents had like four kids. So I grew up with my aunties, uncles. We're very close, and and when I come back, the great thing about it, family is always family. It's like we never left. We always pick up where we left, and they show me over the great development the city has come through. I love it. I absolutely love it.
You were telling me, you know, you were coming to China a few months ago, and I thought, okay, this is going to be interesting. What's he going to get up to? Where is he going to go? I mean, after Chongqing, what is the destination that where's somewhere in China that maybe you haven't been that you want to go?
Well, I mean, this time Chongqing is really my final destination.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go back to Shanghai and fly back to Bao. But I would love to explore the other parts of China. I have been taking the train all around southern China. Actually, took the slow train from Shanghai to Chongqing, 26 hours.
This trip,
Yes, because
26 hours?
yeah, because I wanted to take the high speed train. Cool. The high speed train takes 8 hours from Shanghai to Chongqing, and then they have the next level, which would classify as high speed train in United States. Which goes only 250 kilometers an hour, as opposed to 350 kilometers an hour of high speed train. But that would take 11 to 12 hours. I thought, okay, perfect. If I can book a soft sleeper, then I just sleep or wake up. I mean Chongqing, but for some reason they thought that distance is too short to justify to put a sleeper train card, and so I wanted my family to be a little bit more comfortable, so I bought a soft sleeper on a slow train, so my kids and my wife they can sleep and rest, and then you can see when you're on the train, you really get to see the countryside rolling through. And let me tell you, as the train getting closer and closer to Chongqing, there's some absolutely stunning landscape in places like Western Hunan and Guizhou province. I mean, it's beautiful. There was a point I had an urge to wait till the next stop, get off, and start cleaning the window. Because the scenery was beautiful, but the window was still a little bit grimy. So I wanted to get a better shot. And yeah, so I highly recommend that train trip.
I have to mention this because I mentioned that, the first time that we met, we've probably known each other 4 years on screen, maybe more, even knowing about each other even before we did collaborations together. That word is very key in the YouTube community. Collaboration, trust. I guess there's a bit of showmanship, and then there's a bit of leadership too.
Sure.
But I have to tell you that something that really touched me in the last year here that meant a lot to me is I was in a very delicate situation probably about 6 months ago. I had the opportunity to travel down to the front line in the Ukraine Donbass Russian conflict that was going on. And I got to tell you, for you to have me on your show live, probably less than 150 meters from the front line, really, it's such a visual memory that I have of that vacation. Not vacation, not a vacation.
No vacation.
That travel, people say, why did you go down there? I went down to that area and I flew from here. I flew from Chongqing, and Chongqing is welcoming a lot of Russians right now because direct flights from Moscow.
Visa free.
Visa free, yeah.
Started from last month.
Amazing. Anyway, it took a little bit of longer route to get there, this time without direct flights, but I got to Moscow and immediately I knew something changed. I saw a lot more Chinese, which was good.
Yeah.
that was one day kind of relaxing from the flight. And then I headed down on a 15-hour journey car ride because there are no airports.
Right.
This is called New Russia.
Yeah.
And getting down there, it's probably one of the most eerie feelings, surreal feelings. And when you reached out to me, you said, yeah, this would be great. At first I thought, okay, this might just be another live stream. And then when I was setting up my equipment, and we had a lot of security personnel, and they're like, Alex, let's go. And you're on the screen there. And I mean, you make me feel so comfortable at that time that to me, it was an opportunity of a lifetime. And I really appreciate sharing that with you.
Well, mad props to you for taking that, having the courage and actually go to the front line and see for yourself. I mean, that's not many people would have done that. So,
And this is the thing, again, about, meeting guys like you, meeting guys like Daniel Dumbro, Cyrus Jansen, Brian Berletics, Angelo, all this community, we're all looking out for each other. And I hope next time you come back into the city, I think over the next couple of days, we've got some fun things planned. We got our geopolitical walk and talk that we're going to be doing. Okay. And then I won't explain too much what's going to happen on the third day, but we got some fun things planned for you. And anything you want to say to the audience before we head out of here?
Well, I fully look forward to enjoy my time at Chongqing with my old buddy here, Alex. And I'm sure we're going to make some very interesting content, and you will see that shortly on both of our channels. And, welcome to my home. Welcome to my hometown, Chongqing.
Where can we find you?
I'm I'm a prolific shitposter online. You can find my handle Carl Za on Twitter or X. I also have a YouTube channel. My handle is also Carl Za, where I talk more about like geopolitics, mostly related to China. Because that's really my passion, just everything about China, culture, history, and politics, and I love to talk. So feel free to subscribe. I also do a chronological retelling of Chinese history from the very beginning on my Patreon site.
Let's tell about your Patreon.
Silk and Steel podcast. Patreon is how I support my lifestyle on Bali and put food on my table for my kids. So I do so far I have done the Chinese history from very beginning up to about 300 BC. So I still have a long way to go, but I plan to live a long time. So, I'm not in a hurry. And I hope you subscribe and check it out.
Well, the walking encyclopedia, as we nickname it. Anyway, Carl, what a pleasure it is to meet you. I'm Alex. You can see me at Reportify Media, and also the iChongqing handles. iChongqing. Well, don't worry about it. We're going to put all those descriptions, all those links in the description below. We'll talk soon. Thanks for coming. Thanks, Carl.
Thank you, Alex.
All right. Bye, guys.
Pleasure.
Bye.